Hello everybody, Tracy Sizemore here on a beautiful morning in Tucson, Arizona. Um, August 31st, RPG a Day, Day 31, coincidentally enough. And the question for the day is, what do you anticipate most in gaming for 2018? Something like that. I think that's what it is. Excuse me. I'm still getting over my cold, but feeling a lot better now. So, I made it through. Thanks to Ron Blessing for, whether he doesn't know it, but he's the one who prompted me to do this because he started doing YouTube videos, and I thought, hey, that's a cool idea, and it's easy to do, and so I decided to do it too. And so, without him doing his, I wouldn't have done mine. And you can thank Ron for prompting me. Or you can send hate mail to Ron because it's his fault. So, I have a few answers for this question, and most of them are personal because I think that's just the way it's going to be. So, I will start with this though. In the next few months, you're going to start to see Torg Eternity on the shelves of local game stores. Maybe, I'm not sure when exactly it's going to be, but certainly by the early part of next year you're going to start seeing Torg Eternity on the shelves. And Torg Eternity is one of my anticipated games of 2018 because it was one of the lead writers on it is a really good friend of mine in Daryl Hayhurst. And it's a big project, and they've been working on it really hard. Him and Shane Hensley, Ross Watson, Dean Gilbert, Eric Simon, all these people have been working on Torg Eternity for a while, and it's an update of the old Torg system, if you know what that is. But it's going to be really cool. It's a really neat and unique concept in RPGs. It's sort of a really cool mashup of different really interesting genres slash worlds slash, I don't know, archetypes of narrative that are all kind of mashed together in a really kind of unique way. It's not like Rifts, it's different than that. But anyway, I'm looking forward to Torg Eternity. If for no other reason than I am so excited for my friend who has worked so hard on it and continues to work hard on it. So besides that, getting more personal, I have just been offered and accepted a position on the staff of Contessa. And Contessa, if you don't know what it is sort of a group that encourages marginalized people like women, people on the LGBTQ spectrum like me, people with disabilities, people of color, to seek and embrace leadership positions in gaming. So that includes like GMing games and designing games and stuff like that. The whole point of Contessa is to encourage those people to do that stuff and to celebrate those people who already do it. So they run sort of a con within a con format, and our big event was just done at Gen Con, where Contessa had its own space of 20 tables right there in the middle of Lucas Oil Stadium, and we ran games all weekend. And so the games we run are run by, women, people of color, LGBTQ people, people with disabilities, and are able to be played in by anybody. So anybody is welcome to play in Contessa events and participate in Contessa events, but the people who run them are of those marginalized groups. And it's just a neat and super inclusive way to sort of encourage those people to to do that, you know. So part of what I loved about it was that it created a space at Gen Con that felt like home to me, and I felt safe there, and I know I'm not the only one who felt that way. And so, you know, that's what Contessa is all about, and I'm really excited to join the staff. Stacy Dell'Orfano founded Contessa, and other staff members include like Darcy Ross, who a lot of people know. She just joined the staff of Monte Cook Games, and Bailey Nichols, and Emily Danvers, and Bartery Bryant, Ariel Celeste, all staff members of Contessa, and I just joined that team, and I'm super excited. So I'm looking forward to the future with that. I'll be editing, helping Emily editing the Contessa blog, which we anticipate will get more active in the future, and I'll also be writing some stuff for Contessa brochures and stuff like that. It's sort of right up my alley to do that kind of stuff, and anything I can do to find a platform for me to encourage GMs to GM is something that I feel really passionate about and really want to do. So I'm super excited about that. Beyond that, I am working on getting some stuff published for games. So we'll see. We'll see if that pans out and how it goes. I've also been approached by some people to do some stuff, depending on whether it actually gets greenlit or not. So I'm really excited about the possibility of doing that kind of stuff. Our local Tucson gaming convention, RinCon, which I've mentioned before, is coming up next month at the end of September, early October, the 30th through the 2nd. I think that's what it is. But anyway, so that is in Tucson at the Sheraton down by Grant and Rosemont, and it's always a good time. It's one of those sort of hidden gems of local gaming conventions because it's small but a high value for the money, because we often have, I mean, first of all, we have some outstanding local GMs who run there, but we also get some really cool guests and some stealth guests that show up. And this year, one of those stealth guests is going to be Shane Hensley, who wrote Savage Worlds. And he's a friend of mine and a friend of Daryl's, and he comes down to RinCon almost every year, which is awesome. And this time he's just going to be there to play. So that's cool. And then besides that, we also have like Eloy Lasanta coming. We have Brendan Conway from Magpie Games, along with Mark Diaz-Truman from Magpie Games. And we have Liz Danforth coming. I don't know if you guys know who Liz Danforth is, but she's an artist who did the original artwork for Tunnels and Trolls way back when, who I was a really big fan of. I still am. She's since, moved on to do some Wizards of the Coast, Magic the Gathering cards, and all kinds of other stuff. And it was not a big surprise, given the quality of the artwork for Tunnels and Trolls, which was phenomenal, I thought. I mean, I was just a little kid, but I was just like, man, I wish I could do that. And it just stood out as above and beyond what other artists were doing at the time. And it's not surprising to me that she's made a living out of it and gone on to do some pretty amazing things as an artist in the game industry. I'm looking forward to my con games in 2018. My season, I have games that I run throughout the year, like repeatedly, and my new season of con games starts with RinCon. So RinCon will have all new, or the new games that I've developed that I will be running throughout 2018 at different cons. That's the plan anyway, pending unanticipated money issues or whatever else might come up. So I'm running Teen Crush, which I've talked about a lot here. I'm running The Curious Death of Violet Evans, and which I'm hoping to actually get published. We'll see. And I'm running my new adventure in my Han Cluster universe, sort of a spiritual sequel to the Rassiter Calamity, which I talked about with my most impactful gaming session and maybe another video or two. This is the sequel to that, not sequel, but in the same universe. And so I'm running that and looking forward to that. And I will be developing a couple more, I hope, including my K-Pop Saves the World, and maybe my Disney Princesses Meet Fallout, but I'm not sure when that's going to happen. K-Pop Saves the World I'm really going to try to push on as soon as I get my Han Cluster adventure finished. Beyond that, I just want to become a better GM. Publishing is secondary to me. Game design, secondary. GMing is where the rubber meets the road. GMing is the ambassadorship of gaming. It's the person that is responsible for a new player coming to the table and either loving role playing or never wanting a role playing experience again. And I want to be the GM that welcomes new people in and makes them excited about gaming. I especially love it when kids come to my table and play. I love that. To me, that's the target audience. And in fact, I had a couple of kids at my Teen Crush game at Gen Con, and I just love running for them and watching the joy on their face when they get to do something cool. It means a lot to me. But that's true of all people at my table, but especially kids. So that is my real goal, is to, I mean, this year and the previous years, my goal has been to become a good GM. And I think that I have achieved that. And now my goal is to become a better GM and a sought-after GM. Because I want to not only be an ambassador for role-playing in general, but be an ambassador for people like me, people who came out because of gaming, people who need that sort of outlet in order to help be themselves because of gaming. I want to be that person to somebody. So that's why I value GMing so highly. Besides the fact that it's extremely challenging to do well, and you need a really large cross-section of skills in order to GM a game successfully and to do it consistently well. And I like that kind of challenge, and I think that I have the skill set for it. So that's why I value it so highly. Beyond that, I want to say again, thanks to RPG Brigade and Runeslinger and the person who originally made RPG A Day for doing this. I didn't anticipate how much I would enjoy it, because the questions, some of them were pretty publishing sort of oriented, but having been encouraged to, and having delved a little deeper into the answers and made them personal, it's been more fun for me than I thought it would be. Again, I want to thank Ivan Mike, whose videos I've enjoyed. The Fat Man GM, I've really enjoyed his videos. Ron Blessing's videos I watch. I've been missing James Spring's Creative Play and Podcast answers, but apparently they are working on new ones, so I don't know. I've enjoyed Dave Hubble's Morn Blade Gaming channel, and a bunch of others. But anyway, I don't know how I'm going to continue, but Ron and I have talked about doing a podcast. I don't know if that will happen or not. I think podcasts are more accessible to people who want to listen in their cars and, listen while they're doing other things. And the only thing about that is, and it seems odd, but podcasts are a little more work than YouTube videos. Because there's editing involved and you have to find the right platform for them and all that stuff. Not undoable, and I certainly have the equipment to do it, because I'm basically in a home recording studio as we speak here. But it's a little more work, and so I would want to do that with somebody else so that I could bounce ideas off of them. Ron seems ideal, and because he probably has the time for it, and like my friend Daryl, he just wouldn't have the time. But how I continue espousing my annoying opinions to people remains to be seen, but maybe I'll continue some YouTube videos, or maybe I'll go into podcasts. I don't know. But I will talk to you later, and thanks again for watching, and I hope I didn't bore you to tears. Okay, until next time.